Carver Promotions, bringing you the best professional wrestling in the Mid-South. On tour as we return to Harding, Kentucky for Old School Wrestling on Saturday night, January the 25th at the Harding Community Building. Your main event is Rude versus Ty Blade. 5 big matches, tickets only $8, doors open at 6:30, bell time 7:30 p.m. Then it's the big one, the grand opening event of the new South Arena in Franklin, Kentucky, Saturday night, February the 1st. A special 7 p.m. bell time. Doors open at 6. 6 big matches have been signed. It's a new year, a new location, and a new look, and the same great wrestling action you're used to in Franklin, Kentucky. Then it's the big Super Show 21 in Caverna High School Gym, Saturday night, March the 7th. You'll be hearing a lot more as the weeks come to build at this big, great event. It's a fundraiser for the Caverna Athletics. You want to be there for this one in Horse Cave, Kentucky. For more info, go to ucwwrestlingnow.com. It's JCP Promotions, the best in professional wrestling in the Mid-South. Be sure to visit all of these great events brought to you by James Carver Promotions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is for the Television Championship. Scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the challenger, Kid Dynamite.
There's too much shit scattered around.
Yeah. And his opponent
Get organized.
is the first ever reigning defending television champion, Trent Taylor.
Good morning and welcome to New South Wrestling Sunday Morning Slam. I'm Rick Santel. I'm here with my broadcast partner, Hot Rod Biggs, and we would like to welcome you to another edition of Sunday Morning Slam.
That's right here in the New South Arena. 512 West Madison Avenue, Franklin, Kentucky. And we're going to kick things off hot and heavy with Kid Dynamite taking on the inaugural New South Television Champion, Mr. Trent Taylor.
That's right, and if you were with us, you saw Trent Taylor in the biggest upset, taking on fifth, the 2016 election, taking on and winning against Damian Lane to become that brand new television champion. Kid Dynamite tried to do a dive through the second rope and received a fist and a boot.
Trent Taylor has stepped in the ring, and this man means business. This kid has went from nobody to somebody, and he done it in a hurry, making his name known right here, not only in New South Wrestling, not only with Ultimate Championship Wrestling, but he is brand the television champion of the Alliance, and that's a big deal in 2020. Kid Dynamite in a precarious position, seemingly at the mercy of the television champion, Trent Taylor.
And Hot Rod, it's been building for weeks. The tension, you can cut it with a knife. Justin Granberry, our main event, Justin Granberry, Chris Michaels against the new faction with Christian James and his cronies.
You never know what to expect, except to expect the unexpected, because if you have Christian James' name anywhere inside, anywhere on the paper, that man means business. And now he's acquired the managerial tutelage, the legal services of Mr. Esquire.
That's right, and they officially formed the faction known as the Standard, Hot Rod. And Trent Taylor, I don't know, is he representing this television title by digging his fingers into the face of Kid Dynamite?
In all fairness, official Mickey Bell doing his job. He's giving him the 5 count. 4.5. Good enough for me, Mr. Santel. Vicious toss into the turnbuckle. Kid Dynamite is going to be seeing a chiropractor and maybe a little Jim Beam to take care of the injuries that he's bound to be suffering at the hands of Trent Taylor.
Trent Taylor walks across the ring, Hot Rod. He's measuring Kid Dynamite. He takes off running, and a miss. Nobody's home, Hot Rod. Nobody's home.
I may have spoke a moment too soon, booked the chiropractor twice. Good thing we know one. Trent Taylor, his very first title defense since winning the illustrious television title. And now Kid Dynamite, who some people may have underestimated, is making a comeback, and he's doing it in spectacular fashion.
Did Trent Taylor do enough damage to his own self? Are we going to see a title change right now? Kid Dynamite, he's fired up. A reversal into the turnbuckle and a boot. Trent Taylor runs into a boot off the top rope. He gets caught, Hot Rod. Sit out, SCO. He's finished. Count to three. Referee Ricky Bell.
Here's your winner and still television champion, Trent Taylor.
And there you have it, Mr. Rick Santel, your winner and still the television champion right here on New South Wrestling. And we'll be back with more Sunday Morning Slam.
JCP, James Carver Promotions, bringing you the best professional wrestling in the Mid-South. On tour as we return to Harding, Kentucky for Old School Wrestling on Saturday night, January the 25th at the Harding Community Building. Your main event is Rude versus Ty Blade. 5 big matches, tickets only $8, doors open at 6:30, bell time 7:30 p.m. Then it's the big one, the grand opening event of the New South Arena in Franklin, Kentucky, Saturday night, February the 1st. A special 7 p.m. bell time. Doors open at 6. 6 big matches have been signed. It's a new year, a new location, and a new look, and the same great wrestling action you're used to in Franklin, Kentucky. Then it's the big Super Show 21 in Caverna High School Gym, Saturday night, March the 7th. You'll be hearing a lot more as the weeks come to build to this big, great event. It's a fundraiser for the Caverna Athletics. You want to be there for this one in Horse Cave, Kentucky. For more info, go to ucwwrestlingnow.com. It's JCP Promotions, the best in professional wrestling in the Mid-South. Be sure to visit all of these great events brought to you by James Carver Promotions.
Bring live wrestling to your town. Are you interested in attracting a crowd or raising funds for your non-profit organization? Well, wrestling puts the fun in fundraiser. For over 20 years, it's been involved with producing live wrestling events for non-profit groups, minor league sports teams, shopping centers and malls, carnivals and fairs, grand openings, and countless events of all types. For more information regarding a live event or fundraiser, please email one of our event coordinators.
JC Pole Barns. Contact James today at 270-776-7869. JC Pole Barns is focused on providing high-quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. With a variety of options to choose from, we're sure you'll be happy working with us to design your building.
You're looking at the natural Chase Stevens, your heavyweight champion. And you should come on down to Neil's Core Supply, your #1 core buyer. You can visit them at 4340 New Bowling Green Road. Call them today at 270-308-0715 and say hello to my good friends Martha and Eli Neal.
That's right, Justin Granberry. No more penthouse players. No more. You rode my coattails long enough. Now you're looking at the standard. Myself and Trent Ware, next week, might even have another surprise for you. That's right, Trent.
We are coming for everything we deserve. The standard, we are the level. You ain't gonna compare to us.
And Purple Haze just waiting. See him jumping out of the ring now, giving some room for Chris Michaels. Purple Haze does not look impressed at all. Chris Michaels looking to add more gold to his collection tonight. This should be a fantastic matchup. Both guys around the same height. Michaels may be a few pounds heavier than Purple Haze, but both got the same amount of reach. This should be a pretty technical match, if you ask me. Ricky Bell placing that belt to the outside. Ricky Bell checking Purple Haze, making sure there's no illegal objects on him. Looks like Purple Haze is giving Ricky Bell a hard time. There's the bell.
Well, the lack thereof, boy, we've got to have a discussion with the bell ringer. I tell you what, you got to put Tim Thomason on that, get a Craigslist posting or something going on for a replacement. JD, who in the world's ringing that bell?
I believe it's a young man named Justin. He's just an intern. Every day these interns, they learn a little bit more, get a little bit better.
Hopefully an unpaid intern, and hopefully that will not be the case here for Purple Haze as he gets ready to set head-to-head, toe-to-toe with the headliner Chris Michaels in this matchup. And Purple Haze, I'm kind of new to this character. Not much known about Purple Haze from my point of view. Now, the headliner Chris Michaels, we all know and love. We've seen him for years. But Purple Haze is kind of new to the AWA family.
Which is gives a lot to Purple Haze. The simple fact that these wrestlers may not know who he is, what he can do, where he came from, and who trained him, it is an advantage, especially when, if Chris Michaels wrestles, let's say, a Chase Stevens, or if he wrestles a Damian Wayne, someone who's wrestled him multiple times throughout the years will have a little bit easier time with him. But a guy like Purple Haze, where Chris Michaels doesn't know him, maybe hasn't wrestled him very many times, this gives an advantage to Purple Haze.
Kind of going in this competition blind, so to speak, when you've got someone you've never been in the ring with before, like you mentioned. And Purple Haze goes for the roll up, and just a quick one, but Michael's able to quickly turn that back over.
Chris Michaels is a multi-year veteran, been around the sport for many, many years, been Puerto Rico, all over the place, wrestled matches in TNA, has wrestled matches throughout the Southwest, Showtime All-Star Wrestling, the NWA, a cagey veteran to say the least.
Absolutely, very well-traveled, world-renowned, to say the least, is Chris Michaels. And a lot of the training, a lot of the top superstars that you see and love from today and the past years, including the Viper Randy Orton, Batista, so many more that came through Ohio Valley Wrestling under the direct knowledge, Shelton Benjamin, guidance and training.
Including Brock Lesnar, that's right.
All of those guys at one time or another honed their craft and worked on their art with the headliner Chris Michaels.
I believe, and I may be mistaken, but I believe Chris Michaels and Trailer Park Trash were once OVW Tag Team Champions at one time. Chris Michaels now solidly in control. Purple Haze has not really put a lot of offense out. But when you're wrestling a guy like Chris Michaels, who just has that amount of experience, it is hard to get the hand up on him. It's hard to do something that Michaels hasn't seen before, hasn't encountered before.
He's been up and down the roads more than one time, has Chris Michaels, and he's got just for a man with 1,000 moves, Chris Michaels got 1,001 reversals. That's for sure.
That's correct. There's no question about it. Chris Michaels is actually the first person to ever teach me how to do a lockup in Madison, Tennessee. Now we see Purple Haze gaining a little bit of control, using those right hands. Ricky Bell, obviously, this is a tournament for the gold. He's going to allow a few things to happen that he may not in a regular match. Now pushing Michaels onto the second rope. And you see how he's not only is he putting all of his weight down onto the back into the throat of Chris Michaels, but jaw-jockeying with the fans at the exact same time.
Wasting precious energy and time when he's doing so. But now Michaels back up to a vertical base, catches that forearm to the hook of the leg. Only a 2 count on that.
Ricky Bell always
Bring live wrestling to your town. Are you interested in attracting a crowd or raising funds for your nonprofit organization? Well, wrestling puts the fun in fundraiser. For over 20 years, it's been involved with producing live wrestling events for nonprofit groups, minor league sports teams, shopping centers and malls, carnivals and fairs, grand openings, and countless events of all types. For more information regarding a live event or fundraiser, please email one of our event coordinators.
JC Pole Barns. Contact James today at 270-776-7869. JC Pole Barns is focused on providing high-quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. With a variety of options to choose from, we're sure you'll be happy working with us to design your building.
You're looking at the natural Chase Stevens, your heavyweight champion. And you should come on down to Neil's Core Supply, your #1 core buyer. You can visit them at 4340 New Bowling Green Road. Call them today at 270-308-0715 and say hello to my good friends Martha and Eli Neal.
JCP, James Carver Promotions, bringing you the best professional wrestling in the Mid-South. On tour as we return to Harding, Kentucky for Old School Wrestling on Saturday night, January the 25th at the Harding Community Building. Your main event is Rude versus Ty Blade. 5 big matches, tickets only $8, doors open at 6:30, bell time 7:30 p.m. Then it's the big one, the grand opening event of the New South Arena in Franklin, Kentucky, Saturday night, February the 1st. A special 7 p.m. bell time. Doors open at 6. 6 big matches have been signed. It's a new year, a new location, and a new look, and the same great wrestling action you're used to in Franklin, Kentucky. Then it's the big Super Show 21 in Caverna High School Gym, Saturday night, March the 7th. You'll be hearing a lot more as the weeks come to build at this big, great event. It's a fundraiser for the Caverna Athletics. You want to be there for this one in Horse Cave, Kentucky. For more info, go to ucwwrestlingnow.com. It's JCP Promotions, the best in professional wrestling in the Mid-South. Be sure to visit all of these great events brought to you by James Carver Promotions.
Great referee, always where he needs to be. Nice big body slam right there. Purple Haze into the ropes. Oh, and a crotch shot before a leg drop. Another hook. Another 2 count. Looks like Purple Haze now in control. Much different than the start of the match where we didn't see a lot of offense coming from Purple Haze, but now it's nothing but defense for Chris Michaels.
Well, don't count Chris Michaels out because just when you do, he's going to surprise you. And right now, up and over, and nobody home, just like I said.
Oh, and a pin.
Oh, boy, no, only a 2. How close was that?
That was milliseconds away.
Just when you count Chris Michaels down.
But we see Purple Haze, he does one move and all of a sudden he thinks he's the greatest thing to ever happen.
Boy, the cockiness in that kid is unparalleled.
Blowing a kiss, I believe that was in the direction of Peekaboo. I'm not positive about that, but Peekaboo may have a secret admirer. Grabbing the hair to pull Chris to his feet. Sometimes when you see these guys that have all this confidence and just think they're the greatest, now occasionally they may have a bigger plan than we realize. I don't know if that's the case here with Purple Haze. Oh, and look at this move right here.
Standing on the throat of Chris Michaels.
And you saw Ricky Bell started to admonish an account, and it pissed Purple Haze off and puts his hands on the referee. Again, like I said earlier, this is a tournament for the gold, so the referee is given a little bit more leeway to the things that are happening in the ring than may be normal. Head of steam into the... Michaels was waiting on him. Oh, and a grab of the hair.
That right there sends Michaels off of his game plan, up and over spring.
And look at that, reminiscent of Sabu.
Leg and only a 2 again. How close? You see the disbelief in the face of Purple Haze. He thought he had a 3 count.
Me as well. I was about to yell out a 3 count, and Michaels barely getting that shoulder. Perhaps he thought, I've been around for so long, I have this in the bag. Now just wrenching back. You see Purple Haze, he's really got those arms in a great place on his chin while that knee is in the upper back part and just pull him back. Look at those fingers locked by Purple Haze. Michaels trying to get that burst of energy, trying to make a comeback now.
Right now he's feeding off the fans here in Franklin, feeding off of their energy. They are behind the headliner, 110% as Michaels mounts a comeback right hand, but no. He's being returned shots from Purple Haze. Irish whip off of the ropes and an elbow sends Haze down.
And look at Michaels. Michaels got all the energy in the world all of a sudden, really making that comeback.
Calls now for the patented super kick. We've seen this many times.
Michaels saying it's over, it's time to have, and listen to the crowd. The crowd is making a lot of noise. They're ready to see it. They're excited. This is what they want. They want to see Chris Michaels win.
If he hits a super kick, it could be over.
No.
Hayes catches it, a boot of his own. Wait a minute.
Oh, and look at that, a Ghostbuster by Purple Haze. And that's it. Oh, spoke too soon. I thought it was over after that. A move made famous by Coco Beware in 1987.
Do not count Chris Michaels down and out until the bell has sounded, JD. I can't be more emphatic about that.
And look at Michaels. Michaels holding that back. After years and years of punishment, that looked like it hurt. Into the, no, reversal. And again, up and over. Purple Haze. And there it is!
Nailed it that time, right on target. End right there for Purple Haze as Chris Michaels advances to the next round of the Alliance Championship Tournament.
So we now know Chris Michaels will be taking on Damian Wayne in the next round. And look at Michaels. Very, very pleased with himself. Michaels saying the title is coming home with him tonight, and I think most of the fans believe it. That was one of the most beautiful super kicks I've seen all night long.
It was enough to get a 3 count from the headliner, Chris Michaels.
Bring live wrestling to your town. Are you interested in attracting a crowd or raising funds for your nonprofit organization? Well, wrestling puts the fun in Fundraiser. For over 20 years, it's been involved with producing live wrestling events for nonprofit groups, minor league sports teams, shopping centers and malls, carnivals and fairs, grand openings, and countless events of all types. For more information regarding a live event or fundraiser, please email one of our event coordinators.
JC Pole Barns. Contact James today at 270-776-7869. JC Pole Barns is focused on providing high quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. With a variety of options to choose from, we're sure you'll be happy working with us to design your building.
You're looking at the natural Chase Stevens, your heavyweight champion. And you should come on down to Neil's Core Supply, your #1 core buyer. You can visit them at 4340 New Bowling Green Road. Call them today at 270-308-0715 and say hello to my good friends Martha and Eli Neal.
JCP, James Carver Promotions, bringing you the best professional wrestling in the Mid-South. On tour as we return to Harding, Kentucky for Old School Wrestling on Saturday night, January the 25th at the Harding Community Building. Your main event is Rude versus Ty Blade. 5 big matches, tickets only $8, doors open at 6:30, bell time 7:30 p.m. Then it's the big one, the grand opening event of the new South Arena in Franklin, Kentucky, Saturday night, February the 1st. A special 7 p.m. bell time. Doors open at 6. 6 big matches have been signed. It's a new year, a new location, and a new look, and the same great wrestling action you're used to in Franklin, Kentucky. Then it's the big Super Show 21 in Caverna High School Gym, Saturday night, March the 7th. You'll be hearing a lot more as the weeks come to build to this big, great event. It's a fundraiser for the Caverna Athletics. You want to be there for this one in Horse Cave, Kentucky. For more info, go to ucwwrestlingnow.com. It's JCP Promotions, the best in professional wrestling in the Mid-South. Be sure to visit all of these great events brought to you by James Carver Promotions.
We're starting hot. Welcome back to Sunday Morning Slam. Exotic Dale took advantage of Damian Wayne stepping into the ring, kicks the middle rope. But Hot Rod Biggs, you have to ask yourself, is Damian Wayne still fired up? Is he still hot from what happened to him? How he was cheated from that
television title match, baby. Damian Wayne feels like he got the short end of the stick as your reigning television title holder. Mr. Trent Taylor was able to latch onto the ropes.
And a cover
out of the side of the referee. And now Damian Wayne remains the #1 contender for that television title. That is, unless he's defeated right here today by Exotic Dale. What an opportunity Exotic Dale has to move into that #1 contender position.
That's right, Hot Rod. What an opportunity he has to show everyone where he belongs, where he thinks he belongs, and what he deserves next.
Damian Wayne is no stranger to championship titles. He is no stranger to gold. But just as a human being, just as a competitor, just as someone who has a hunger and desire to train 7 days a week, morning, noon, and night, like Damian Wayne does.
Set a cover. Referee Anthony Wayne, no relation, gets a 2 count on Damian Wayne.
2 count on Damian Wayne, and you know it has to be eating away at him. That he was cheated in his mind, his words not mine, that he was cheated out of that television title by Trent Taylor. But all he can do is keep on climbing. Damian Wayne must win this matchup on Sunday Morning Slam.
And you just saw the lengths that Exotic Dale will go to. He used Damian Wayne's own bandana to choke him. He hit it from the referee, misses a clothesline, gets a clothesline in return, double chops to the chest.
Body slam on Exotic Dale. Beautiful elbow.
I thought he was going to hook the leg. Did he use it? He's going up. He's going up. Are we going to see a top rope elbow? Are we going to see the bomb from Damian Wayne?
He looks locked and loaded, and he fires.
He hits it. Hot Rod, this could be it. Can he get the cover? Hooks the leg. Foot on the rope. Exotic Dale, ring awareness, stuck his foot on the rope, didn't have enough energy to kick out, but he had just enough to stick that foot on the rope and save himself from a 3 count.
You summed it up. Presence of mind can make all the difference in the world, and so does that boot by Exotic Dale. Goes for the cover, feet on the rope. I thought that lightning was going to strike twice. That's what cost Damian Wayne the title in the first place.
Absolutely. Almost a repeat of last week, Hot Rod. You said it.
Damian Wayne, this man eats, sleeps, breathes, and trains professional wrestling day in and day out. And you know it has to be eating away at him. That he was oh so close to being the very first television champion.
Swing and a miss from Exotic Dale.
That's got to be it.
Big clothesline. Hits the 3 count. Damian Wayne is proven once again why he should be the #1 contender.
Damian Wayne